welcome back to the Fundamentals podcast where we talk all things related to sports from a fan's perspective. This is an opinion based show. I don't think I need to say anymore. It's an opinion based show. If you don't like our opinion, I don't know what to tell you. So, anyway, how was y'all's week so far?
Good, man. Good.
Pretty good.
Got no complaints
Good.
so far.
Yep.
Good. Everybody enjoy some sports this weekend?
Yeah.
Yes, sure did.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, before we get into some sports, I love boxing. I think, it's up there with baseball in terms of historically, that was like, you listen to it on the radio, it was, America's thing. It was a big, event. And I just, it's one of those things I've followed it, even the boxers before I was born. I love it. I understand it's one of those things now. It generates more money than it's ever made. It's, it's like any other thing. They're trying to get the most out of it, right? Look, I know the fights aren't, the big fights are in Vegas and all of that, man. Hey, these main event things starting at 11:30, 12 o'clock, man. I'm getting too old. I'm just getting too old. It's no reason why after the fight before the main event, I had to take a nap to get ready for the main event. Literally, I fell asleep and woke up for the main event. I shouldn't have to do that, right? I took a nap earlier that day because knowing it was going to be late. Then I took another nap between the fight before the main card. All right,
That's crazy.
and it's getting harder, man. I don't know how much longer I can do these 11:30, 12 o'clock start times. Can we please look after the older people when it comes
They
to
said
this
the older
boxing
people need to
thing?
be in Vegas.
Yeah,
It
I
never
get it
sleeps
for
down there.
I know it for the West Coast. I mean, it works for them, man. But for me, and especially think about those people that wanted to watch it on the East Coast. Gary, that means that fight
12:30.
started closer to 1 o'clock for you, because it
Yeah,
ended like 10 minutes before 1 a.m. Okay, so that means you would have had to stay up till pretty much 2 a.m. to enjoy that fight. Like,
I haven't stayed up that late in
Put
years.
that mug on record and go to sleep.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching Callan Coward the other day, and he was talking about how much he loves living on the West Coast now because he can actually watch sports again, which he wasn't able to do when he was living in Connecticut with ESPN
Right.
and stuff. So I feel it,
Yeah.
man.
Makes sense.
If I didn't have so much invested in the house that we bought here in North Carolina and stuff, I'd move west because this is nonsense. I'd go back to Colorado or I'd do something because you're right, Will. I mean, I used to feel it a lot when I was living in Texas and on the central time zone and stuff. But man, it seems like here east, you're like 4 time zones further to
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in England or something. So
Yeah.
I can
Tell you.
I can definitely empathize with you.
Ain't no better time than that mountain time because you don't go forward or back. It just stays the same all
That
year
mountain
round.
Yeah.
Mountain time's the same all year
Yeah,
It's
Arizona's
interesting.
that way. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting because I remember, Adrian, when you lived in Arizona, and then when you moved out to South Carolina.
Yeah, boy.
That had to be a drastic
No.
Yeah.
change in terms.
yeah. I just went one
do
time.
not
and you
like
went
that.
two
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
three.
It was already
Yeah.
bad enough trying to keep up with Central Time because we ain't moving, and Central's going back and forth during daylight saving. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep up with my
Yeah.
folks there. Sometimes
Well,
they 2
yeah.
hours ahead, sometimes they only an hour ahead. So it's just like, okay. And then when I moved to the East Coast, it was like, oh, trying to keep up with friends back in those days. I'm still like now, I'd be like, what time is it during that time?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's hard, man. It is hard. I like that time zone because I hate the fluctuating of the time back and forth. But
Oh yeah, yeah,
man,
I,
it's rough. It is
I don't
rough when you're
even,
on the East Coast.
yeah, I don't even know if I'd stay up for a Super Bowl that was up that late. I mean, I can't even think of a sporting event. Maybe the Super Bowl, maybe Game 7 of an NBA Finals or a
yeah.
World Series. Definitely not boxing.
No.
I kind of lost interest in boxing when Buster Douglas knocked Mike Tyson out back in the
Oh
early
wow,
80s.
yeah,
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
yeah,
I was a big Tyson fan back then.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, you're right. When we had Hagler and Hearns and
Hearns,
Leonard
yeah.
and the No Moss, I mean, boxing was so fantastic, and you had
yeah.
the personalities with Howard Cosell and his, back and forth with Muhammad Ali, and I mean, yeah,
You
there
know,
was so much going on, and those boxing events were on, at decent times. Now they're not.
Yeah.
now they're
At
not.
least
They're
like
not.
by 9 o'clock or something.
Exactly.
You could
Yeah.
do a 9 o'clock for a
Yeah,
fight. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
That's
cool
cool
with 9 o'clock
But,
main event.
but
Yeah.
yeah, 11:30.
Yeah,
Bruh, I'm
12.
not even trying.
That's
I'm about clocked out.
yeah.
Like
I had
most
to,
of
I,
us,
like
you
had to
like
take
most
naps.
of us is like, yeah, like I know there's a lot of people that still, the Saturdays is the day for you to get up and do things and, go out and people do that on Saturdays.
Yeah, I'm too old for
41 years old now, bro. Like
Yeah.
that.
my days off is Friday and Saturday, and I got to go to work on Sunday. Unfortunately, but
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna be up for that. You know what I'm saying? But even
Right.
when I had weekends off, I'm not trying to watch anything past 11:30. At
Right.
this point, if it's 11:30 at night, and if I'm still up, which usually I might be up because I just got days off to be awake sometimes like that.
Yeah.
Everything on TV is background noise. I might be playing
Mm-hmm.
a game or something or halfway asleep. So I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's a lullaby now. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's even
just
like
crazy.
the second Monday night game. Did you know they played
Yeah,
two this
came on
past
at
week?
9. They
Yeah,
came on at 9.
Yeah, the second one, I made it to the second quarter. I don't even remember what happened. I didn't make it to halftime at all. I was out of there.
Yeah.
I
I
couldn't
didn't
hook
even
that
make
after
it
the
to the
first
end of
game.
the first game, yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
first game, I was kind of already
I
clocked
love
out. It
6
was it.
o'clock in the morning, so I don't know. Maybe I'm 53, and
Yeah.
I don't know what's the matter with me anymore. I mean, I get up 4 times to go to the bathroom at night now and stuff, and
Same.
I'm a big fan of 6 o'clock in the morning. I like being up when nobody else is walking around. It's just me and the
Sure.
dog.
Yeah.
And I prefer that, and I can catch up with what happened, the night before. I can read the blogs,
Yeah.
watch the highlights, maybe catch some Sports Center or whatever, see what happened.
Right.
I realistically prefer that over staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for sure. Because I watched that fight Saturday morning, and I got up at 5:30 because I was supposed to go do some fishing before the football games came on. And I said, I'm still tired. Like, give me 5 more minutes. And then I looked again, and it was like 6:45. So, and generally I wake up at between 5:30 and 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And that's just my clock. My mental clock just wakes
Yeah.
me up at that time.
Right.
But I mean, that's why it's so hard for me to do the late night things because I'm an early bird because I like to fish mornings. Saturday
Yeah.
morning, I'll be up at 5:30. I'm going to go do some fishing. And so when I see these major events and they're like so late, I'm like I couldn't miss this fight. Like I had to watch it. It was such an important event because I'm such a huge fan of boxing. So I had to take those naps, and those naps were helpful. But man, we got to do something, and I'm worried about the future of sports because it seems like they're trying to make this stuff later. It's
Yeah,
like,
a lot of things are
how
starting.
late are we gonna make it?
Yeah, a lot of things start to crank up a little bit later on the day. I mean, and like it's kind of like that too. For we done talked about before. I think it's the catering to West Coast, but you're forgetting that the East Coast is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta on the East side. You gotta go to. You ain't gonna be up at 12, 10, 11 o'clock to watch a full game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Right.
cool if the game starts at 9. That's 8 o'clock. That's 8 o'clock Central, and then that like be like 5 West Coast or 6 West Coast or something like that.
Right.
That's a cool, perfect, happy median a little bit, at least a little
Yeah.
bit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because at least the people on the East Coast might be more reluctant. Okay, I might stay up until 11 o'clock to see the ending
Right.
of the game and then go to bed. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? At least I get to watch some of the game. But when you starting at 10, 11, things that's starting so late, it just becomes, it just is like, man, this is too crazy. This is
Yeah.
one thing that they had like about the NBA. Like the NBA, sometimes I forgot when it was. I think it was one of the Christmas games or something like that, or something. And game's supposed to start at 7 o'clock, and y'all so busy doing all these extra promos and stuff.
Yeah.
No, it was the All Star game. It's
Oh
supposed to
yeah.
start at 7. All Star game ain't start till like 7:45. Bro,
Yeah.
why do we get 45 minutes worth of? You know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
They're supposed to start at 7. Start
Yeah.
at 7. You know,
Start
I don't
at
want to
7.
stay. I don't want to see y'all do 45 minutes to an hour of this pregame BS. That should have been done at 6.
Yeah.
And then 7 o'clock, I need to see y'all tipping off. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to tune into. I understand all the, the bells and whistles y'all want to do, but nah, I don't want all that. If you say
Yeah.
you starting at 8, at least 8:05 be, be
Yeah.
punctual
Yeah.
with it or something. And I
Yeah.
take 5. I take 5 minutes of okay. Game ain't starting exactly at 8. Might be 8:05. All right, I'll take that. But
Yeah.
man,
Well-
some of this stuff is getting too crazy with it. You're right. It's getting
It-
later and later though.
It's funny because so like I know some of the people on the West Coast, they kind of dislike the 12 o'clock Sunday games. Like it's 12 o'clock for us, 1 o'clock for the East
Yeah.
Coast, and then for them,
Yeah.
it's 10 o'clock in the morning.
It's
Me,
super
I
early
would
in the morning,
love
yeah.
that. I would absolutely love that. Oh, the game comes on at 10 a.m. Bet, like sign me up.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That, but like I get it. We have to try to cater to each. You know what I mean? It's not. It's an imperfect world. So I mean, I get it. Nobody's gonna be happy. So
Yeah.
nobody's gonna be
It's such a big
all
country,
nobody's gonna be all the. You can't make it perfect. So a lot. We're gonna get into some sports, like some past weekend sports. So I was looking, and Daniel Jones is like number 2 on the passing this season, right? And I'm looking. Granted, I know they went for it a couple times on 4th down, but they have yet to punt. The Colts. I'm speaking of Daniel Jones. So clearly, like the Giants have a totally different issue because Daniel Jones looks really good, and maybe it's too early, but like let's be honest, right? We thought it was Daniel Jones a little bit, right?
Yeah. Well,
Well, let's just be honest. It was Daniel Jones
It
a
was,
little bit.
yeah.
A lot of it was Daniel Jones bad
But-
decision making.
But why in Indiana is it looking so much better? Not only are the Colts second in passing, but Jonathan Taylor leads the league in rushing.
That's your big thing right there, though.
yeah.
And
I think
so
that's the
that
bit, I think
helps.
that does take a lot of it because
That
you know-
running leads to it. Yeah.
the running game leads to it. Remember when the Giants was having that one good season with Daniel Jones that kind of pretty much got him his contract. They had a healthy Saquon Barkley, and Saquon was tearing it up that year, and Daniel Jones was actually excelling at his position. He was
That's
actually doing
valid.
pretty well. So,
That's
like
valid.
how we done said before, it's the offensive line, but you can't be one-dimensional thinking you're gonna win games either. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't. Everybody can be. Even if you go back to like the New England Patriots, we could say Tom Brady did this and he had all these. He done made Edelman and all them do all kinds of things, but people forget those Patriots teams, they didn't have big name running backs, but they had running backs that actually contribute to the offense. You know what I'm saying? They might not been getting you 100 and something yards a game, you know what I'm saying? But they were 60, 80, 90 in the backfield,
Yeah.
and then might give you 40, 50 in, receiving or something like that. But the running back changes a lot. Look at Dallas Cowboys. Look at what they did last year. When they can only pass the ball, they ain't have no running game. They look terrible.
Yeah.
Most teams, unless you just have a super duper, even the Bengals struggle until they start getting hot after a while, like with Joe Burrow and them, because they really didn't have much of a running game when they got rid of Mixon or whatever. But once you start, but when teams are able to, just make you one-dimensional or know that you're one-dimensional, we ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you got a running game, Jonathan Taylor's been injured. Now he looks kind of pretty healthy. They got a nice little healthy running game. It seems fitting. It really does. I mean, it really does. Detroit, they're another team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When they get their running game going on, they are very hard to beat. When they got their running game going on, you almost can't beat them. You know what I'm saying? So it's that running game. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, but we gotta admit, Daniel Jones does look a bit more competent.
Yeah, he's making smarter decisions.
He's making some better decisions.
But
so.
I think also that comes with that, you got a different style of coach. You know what I'm saying? Different coaching. Sometimes you gotta get humbled before you start actually seeing, okay, I'm doing too. Because sometimes when he didn't have much of a line in New York, we know that he didn't have much of a line. He made really bad decisions. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time for you to get into your thing. Look at Sam Darnold. Say the same thing about him. He looked trash when he was with the Jets. He didn't look very good in Carolina. And then, he goes to Minnesota after and he said, well, he went to San Francisco, and he said that was some of the best time he spent, even though he didn't play. He go to Minnesota, and we see what he did last year.
Yeah.
Look at his numbers this year. They're not bad.
Yeah, he
He's
looks
actually
good
doing
still
pretty
this
good.
year.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes it's just a change of environment. Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Change of environments. I mean, he didn't look as good Sunday as he did the previous week, but he still, you know what I'm saying? Still the fact that some systems just work for you. And I think it could be a system thing. Also, just the fact that you got a good running back that's healthy or something does make it. It is only 2 games. We'll see how far it goes after that, but it's impressive right now.
Yeah, it is. You brought up offensive lines, and I wanted to. I'm a fan of Joe Burrow, but Cincinnati historically has been known as one of those teams that's kind of cheap. That's been a thing since the '80s, with ownership. Just it's not really one of those things where they want to spend a lot of money. They want to try to do the most with the least amount of money spent, and I feel like they're wasting Joe Burrow. But not only Joe Burrow, I know. Look, they were able to make it to a Super Bowl, but obviously there's some things that really needs to be addressed with that organization, because you have, and I'm not a Cincinnati fan, but I like Joe Burrow, and I think they have a lot of talent on the team. But when you don't take the time to address your offensive line, knowing you need to address your offensive line because that will protect a high value asset, you have talents like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and then you never address your defense, which, if you just put a little bit of effort into addressing your defense, you're a playoff team last year. Like, they have to score 40 every game to even have a chance because the defense gives up so many points. And it's like, at what point for the fans' sake, is it like, dang, do y'all really care to win? Or are y'all just kind of riding the horse of the Super Bowl a few years ago? And
Sorry.
No, you go ahead. Well, I was just gonna say, it's just kind of wasting the talent that's on the team. It's like, And I feel bad for the Cincinnati fans.
Sure. Yeah, he's he's about to have his third comeback player of the year award. I mean, when he's been healthy, they've been successful, just like the Super Bowl appearance that they had a couple of years ago. But I mean, since he was drafted in 2020, I saw the stat, only Russell Wilson has been sacked more times. He's been sacked 201 times since 2020. Every injury he's had is because he's under pressure. He got the turf toe now. He's got the ACL tear, his wrist, ligament tear. All of that stuff was because of him being under pressure. And a lot of it's Zach Taylor's offense. It doesn't help that they're in the shotgun more than everybody except a couple of teams, and they don't do any motion rate before they snap the ball. There's all kinds of in the Cincinnati. It's funny that you mentioned their history with offensive lines. I mean, I remember when they had Anthony Munoz as their left tackle, and it seems like he was the last decent offensive lineman they had. I mean, I remember them talking about Kajana Carter when he was coming out of Penn State and how long he would last. And he made it to like the second game of the season, his rookie season, and he was out, and we never heard from him again. So Cincinnati has had a history of just not supporting their amazing talent. You look at Peter Warrick, there's been so many examples of amazing Cincinnati skill players who have had shortened careers because they have never spent any kind of time, strengthening their offensive line. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's crazy because if you look at what they've been able to acquire over the years, you would think they have so many. I mean, you have to think like historically they've had some good receivers. They've had some really good receivers. And
yes, they have.
Yeah.
like
Chad
Johnson, Ocho
They
had Green.
Green, yep.
Yep. They've had
Carson Palmer.
Good. Yeah.
Well, even Andy Dalton wasn't a terrible quarterback.
Andy Dalton was
solid for a while.
He was solid. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, Rich Eisen said the other day that Browning is better than like a third of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now. So they've got a good quarterback coming up to replace Joe Burrow. But there's no excuse for them not addressing their line or their defense. It's crazy.
And that's how you could tell sometimes. I just think some owners ain't there to win. They're there to just earn as much money as they can get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Save as much money as they can get, because there's no reason why they shouldn't have been able to. They were reluctant to really try to sign, Higgins and Chase. That should have been a no-brainer. They dragged that out.
Yeah.
They pretty much got rid of Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't put no money and resources in any of these players. You're not putting any resources in the defense, so it's like that's causing your offense to have to be on the field every 2 seconds because your defense can't shut nobody down. You know what I'm saying? And then, like you said, that line is just that line is terrible. That line is terrible, man. It's just it's ugly.
And it has been.
They have to address it.
Yeah.
They really need to address it. Either that or your development coaches ain't good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's another thing to look at. It might not just be money. It might just be who you get as a coach for the offensive line. They ain't good.
I thought when they signed Orlando Brown, that was a decent move.
That was a heck of a signing because Orlando Brown is a good good offensive lineman. Mm-hmm. Didn't do nothing. So
Joe Burrow's out for 3 months. Yeah,
it has to do with something. It ain't like San Fran where there's something in the water. You know what I'm saying? Your line is just terrible. That's just it. It's just a terrible offensive line. It's like your offensive line coach coaching or something there
Yeah.
needs to be
Good point.
looked at. And like the last few years, though, it's been they either gotten off to slow starts offensively, which has led to slow starts in the season.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow has been nicked up in the beginning of the year. The last 3-4 years, he's always he's either starting the season hurt or he's getting hurt in the beginning.
Right.
There's no reason why that should be happening. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're onto something there. You're onto something there, people.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that with all that talent, you think about teams like it's a good example. We'll say like Arizona, right? Arizona is one of those teams where they'll get like one piece of the puzzle, and then they kind of just try to cut the rest of the pieces out. But Cincinnati is one of those teams where they've gotten super fortunate with like picks of getting so much good talent, and then it's like they don't need as many pieces to the puzzle, but they'll be like, we're just gonna leave those parts blank. Like we're not even gonna try to finish the puzzle.
You making me look like they might need their scout team to be the ones picking up their linemen, because they've gotten some gems in the draft.
Yeah.
But you can't get a gem on this offensive line to work. That's crazy. Like you need to figure it out. Like y'all need to be scouting the offensive line, and that should be your first pick for the next 2-3 years. Is getting you an offensive lineman that might be worth a dang. So yeah,
for sure.
They got the same problem as Carolina right now for Bryce Young.
Yeah.
I was just finna bring Carolina up. I think we expected Carolina to be a little bit better this year.
Yeah.
We hoped.
I mean,
We hoped, yeah.
I was hopeful.
Well, Bryce Young looked
it's just
good
the beginning of the year.
at the end of last year, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
He
the
really
beginning of the
picked
year,
it up
but
last year, but he looks the same as last year when the season started. He just
so based on what I've seen so far this year, looking at
still
Carolina,
spending time
just
running back in that backfield.
it's
for
in
his
sync.
life, man.
Nothing.
Like,
Nothing.
I think I'm hopeful for Carolina simply because of Bryce Young. Like, I want to see him be successful.
Yeah.
But so I think it's unfortunately I think it's going to be one of those things where he's just going to be in a year or so. We'll see him somewhere else, and like in his 5th or 6th season, it's going to be one of those things where he just turns into one of those serviceable starting quarterbacks that became. I don't want that to happen, but it's looking like that's going to end up happening.
He's walking down the Justin Fields path right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's looking just like Justin Fields is, because it's not all on Bryce Young. That line.
No,
is trash.
it's not.
Just like when Justin Fields was at Chicago, he couldn't get no kind of anything there. And then, like at the end, like near the end of the season, he starts getting better as the season progresses. He's that same path. He didn't have no kind of consistent coaching. They were just blatantly bad in what they did the first year with Bryce Young. They put nothing around him and threw him out there and said, "Hey, win us a ball game." With what weapons? Y'all traded off all of our weapons in the off season. You didn't pick up a line that we know we need. You ain't did nothing there. You're not getting any kind of veteran presence in there.
Right.
He was in a position to where, honestly, what would have did Bryce Young some good is if when he first got drafted to Carolina, they had Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I was going to say, we already talked about Andy Dalton.
They should have just let Dalton run the offense.
Yeah.
Let Bryce Young sit on the bench for the first year until you could retool your offensive line and all that stuff like that, because you can't throw a rookie out there, man, and try to see. And that's your investment, especially when you pick them as high as they pick them. That's your investment,
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and Andy Dalton came in for a couple of games last year, and
until he got injured.
Yeah, and I think that helped Bryce Young, because when he came back after Andy Dalton was the starting quarterback, that's when he looked better.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
He does need that veteran presence. just like any young quarterback needs. I mean,
Yeah.
he has one of the most. I mean, next to Jerry Jones, the owner of the Panthers is one of the just one of the most horrible owners in the NFL, and
Yeah.
he's had like 3 different coaches already, and there's so many things going against him right now. On top of the fact that his offensive line doesn't protect him at all, and every time he gets the ball, he's running for his life, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I think the comparison between the Panthers and the Bengals is spot on. Except they've got more playmakers. I mean, he got a few good receivers during the draft, but it's too early to say whether or not they're gonna make
Pan out or not.
make a difference. But he doesn't have Jamar Chase, and he doesn't have
No.
T.
You know,
Higgins.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I bet you he wish he did.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think he'd be all right if he at least had one of those weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope, I mean, they made a lot of moves to get him, so I hope they give him a couple more years to pan out, because
Yeah.
I just hope there isn't like another terrible season and they get a high draft pick and there's a flashy quarterback, that's tempting them or something that they decide to go
Yeah.
with, because then they'll just go through the whole thing again. They'll have another brand new quarterback that isn't getting protected, has
Redo
no
it, yeah.
guidance, has no weapons. I mean, there's just there's so much more that they need to do.
Yeah.
They've already got the quarterback as far as I'm concerned. They just need to give him more time and more
protection.
weapons
Yeah,
and more
he needs a
protection.
line.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where they need to start at. They need to start
Yes.
out with that line again. They just need to rebuild the line, refocus it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You brought up Jerry Jones, the ownership. It was something really funny that he did this week.
he
Signed Jadeveon Clowney.
And Clowney, yeah. That was his one piece he needs.
That's the one piece he's missing.
That's all he needs was a good defensive lineman.
Yep, that's what that's gonna make the difference. Look,
That's right.
look. Let's be real. They should have lost
Clowney's not
against the
the
Giants.
lineman during the
Yeah, Clowney's okay. He's an okay player, but
Yeah.
He-
I was gonna go
Clowney
get
has also
Jadeveon
been in the
Clowney.
league 12 years.
I know.
I was gonna go
He
get
came out the
Clowney.
same year as Reggie Bush.
If you
You
was
know,
gonna
like-
go get
Played for
Clowney,
6
you
years.
could have just paid Parsons.
I know. Yeah, he's playing Clowney like $9 million. I mean,
Yeah, you don't mind overpaying for Clowney?
oh, I think he got his feelings hurt, and that's why he's so mad.
It's
That agent,
it's the
that
Cowboys.
agent. If I was Parsons, I would give that agent a bonus because he
Yeah.
got out of Dallas and then to
Thank
Green
you.
Bay.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
'Cause
Hey,
maybe that
and
was what they
Parsons-
were hoping for. They knew how to
Parsons has looked good this season. I know
Yeah.
the sack numbers don't show
Let's
it.
just be
but
honest.
Those first two
Parsons
games,
looks good every time he's on the field, except for when after he came. Even when he got injured and came back, he still
makes a
was
difference.
force.
get.
yeah, he makes a difference.
Well, he's
he
part
makes a
of
difference.
You
solid team. Yeah.
you're not paying him doesn't make sense because you didn't
Yeah.
pay him, and then you paid the cornerback, and now you're picking up somebody
Well-
that plays the position that you just got rid of.
Yeah.
Now you
Well,
got Russell Wilson throwing for 500 yards against you.
exactly. Like the Giants should have won that game. If the Giants defense does not have
No.
like a bonehead last 4 minutes,
They shouldn't have played so lax on that last. But let's
yeah,
just be honest, though.
then Dallas loses
And
against
we also got to be honest too. Dallas got one hell of a kicker.
that too.
Yeah.
This man
That's it.
kicked a 64-yard field goal that had room left. He could have been good from 70.
Yeah.
That seems to be prevalent in a lot of teams in the NFL right now.
It's crazy.
Kickers in
What's
the
in the
NFL
water?
are
Like what they
really,
on, bro?
really-
It's crazy.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
back in the day, you were like, these people are doing a 60-yard field goal. What's going on here? A 60-yarder? Oh man, he ain't making that.
Yeah.
Now, 60 is nothing.
Yeah.
Like
The-
unless you 49er kickers, but 60s is nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like then he just went out there and booted a 64-yard field goal to tie it up, and like it was nothing. Like he
Yeah.
could have
Yeah,
been good
yeah.
from 70.
Yeah, there's a
And
couple of them that I saw that hit the
yeah,
net.
so
It
it's
was a
kind of like
60-yarder.
it's kind of like well. In a normal setting, ain't nobody really kicking that back in the day. Like you ain't
Yeah,
used to that.
but-
It did, but I will say this. Even though the Giants' defense did blow it, Russ came down. He did what he had to do to get him in overtime. He had the ball in his hand in overtime. They had a chance to win the game, and I have no idea why Russell Wilson threw that pass, that bomb downfield.
Oh yeah, that was
Neighbors
a
was not
poor,
open.
poor
He had a
decision.
safety over the top and a cornerback under
Well-
him. That's two men, and he just. It was a bad throw. For
Oh,
one.
But-
that's one of the reasons why the Broncos paid the Steelers to start Russell Wilson as their quarterback last year. Because of stuff like that. I mean, his year in Denver, 2 years I guess he was there. There was so many head scratching moments, and he looked so uncomfortable, and just like he was, just scared or something. And
Well, see,
yeah,
This
he's
is
not
coming
Russell
from-
Wilson.
and Big Will can attest to it because he's terrorized our teams for years
Sure.
in the NFC West. It was never something that we didn't expect Russell to do because he used to always play like this. But he had safety nets like the dude. I can't stand Tyler Lockett because
Oh,
for some
gosh.
odd reason, Russell Wilson used to just run back 50, 70 yards. You can't sack him and just
Yeah.
throw something up. And this damn Tyler Lockett was always in the right spot to catch the ball. So I guessing he thinking it's going to be the same. Now, Neighbors showed out now.
Yeah,
Neighbors
Malik
showed
Neighbors
out.
looked-
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And Russ showed out. I just
Yeah.
don't understand that play. Like, it's like you didn't need that big throw down field. You didn't need it
Sure.
because
Greedy, man. When
You
it's
had
been
the
happening
ball.
all game, you get greedy.
Yeah, you're right, but
He was getting
that's a
caught,
bad
yeah.
read because you got to say like, I don't play quarterback, but I know if I got a cornerback under and then the safety's playing over the top, why am I throwing this ball to this man?
Yeah.
He didn't get the step on. Now he was roasting Diggs out there. Neighbors was roasting.
Yeah, it was a
Diggs.
roast fest.
That was crazy, and I'm
Yeah.
like, Diggs is supposed to be one of the best cornerbacks in the league. He was
Nah.
getting toasty out
Yeah.
there. You know what I'm saying? Neighbors is a dog, bro. He's a dog. That touchdown catch in the end zone to let them go up at the end, that was
Yeah.
beautiful. And that was a Russell Wilson play. But
Yeah.
that one in the that play on overtime, he did not need to do it. Y'all weren't on fourth down to where you need to throw some Hail Mary.
Yeah.
All you
that
had
was
to
just a
do
poor
was
decision, and
try to
that cost
get
them the game.
all you had to do was try to get some yards, get in field goal range, kick the field goal, game over. That's
Yeah.
all you were looking for. And you try to make a big play, try to go for the home run hit, and it wasn't there. And
Yeah.
then on top of that, when you threw the ball, you kind of threw it. I don't know. You could tell he didn't throw it right because it was short.
Yeah.
It didn't even go near the target, so you throwing it off your back foot or whatever in pressure. This was just a bad ball. You should have threw it out of bounds. If anything, you're gonna throw something like that.
They-
But yeah,
That's
so
and,
Giants
and that's,
defense and Russell Wilson cost them the ball game.
Yeah, and you know that's one of the things. Somebody asked me on Facebook right before the game, like sometime on Sunday, and they said, "Do you think we'll ever get the old Russell Wilson back?" And I was like, "No, no, like that's gone
Players
because
don't do that. Yeah,
you know,
Very, very, very,
like,
Yeah.
very, very
No.
rare.
yeah,
I can't even
Almost
think
never.
of anyone. Yeah,
right. And granted, he did. As soon as I said that, he did go out and because I was like, "Oh, his arm's not strong enough," but he did go out and throw pass for 500 yards.
Career high.
Yeah, but
against
but
the
he
Cowboys.
still made that one dumb decision at the end, which that's not like him. So
No.
that's why it leads me to believe there's a lot of stuff going on in his head, even since he's been at Denver. Like it's,
Jerry Jones paid him.
huh?
I said Jerry Jones paid him.
Jerry Jones paid.
Since apparently we just giving money away to people, he might as well pay Russell to throw a nice little pick in overtime. So hey, got him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Did y'all watch the Kansas City and Philly game?
some of it. I saw some.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah, most of that game. Yeah.
Yeah. I got
False start,
like
tush push.
I think we talked about it, but I'm not gonna lie. After like the fourth tush push, I was kind of done
Yeah.
with the.
It's a boring
I
game. It's
seriously
boring.
after the
It's a
fourth
rugby
one, I was like,
style,
all right, now like I'm kind of done with the tush push thing, and I get it. They're like, oh, if nobody can stop it, whatever. But I was looking at some things, and they were showing like some aerial view of the tush push, and I mean, I understand the argument. The center is over top of the ball, so technically,
He's offside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like-
Neutral zone.
technically, and they do move before the ball moves,
Yeah, it's offsides. I mean, it's
Yeah.
false start. It should be
and
called, but
They could
And-
call them for false start every time. I haven't seen
every
one.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I started seeing a lot of calls that being missed when it comes to not just the Philly or anything like that.
Yeah.
I done seen a lot of false starts. Like I see
Yeah.
a lot of times that the right guard or somebody done kicked early before the ball is snapped, and it's just like that's a false start. But I guess.
Yeah.
But I seen it a lot in the NFL. But that I looked at some of those replays and I'm like, yeah, why is your lineman going first and your center hasn't even snapped the ball yet?
Yeah.
Right.
That's a false
Yeah.
start every other day of the week. But I guess on this play you can't see it, right?
Look, for me,
This
I get
is
it. I heard one of the players from Philly say, "Hey, that was not the determining factor for us to win." By saying that you're not giving our defense any credit, you're not giving our special teams any credit, and for me, it's just it is a little. It's hard to watch it when you do it that many times, right? Like there was one time where they did it like back to back, and it
like
was like
like last year in the playoffs where they did it like 6-7 times in a row and then
oh yeah, and against Washington.
Washington
Yeah.
kept jumping offside because it's not an easy play. Like the sneak, we know quarterback sneak has always been in the game.
Yeah.
But it's never been to this degree. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, it's never been to this degree. The play has always been in the game, but, like, something about it just... I mean, yeah, you got to stop it. But something
Yeah.
about it, when you slowing it down or when you're seeing things like, knowing that linemen are kicking or going forward early before the ball snapped. It's like, if the defense on like, special teams, right? If they can't use another man to push off on,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
should you
Yeah.
allow that for the offense
Broncos,
to be able
yeah.
to do something like that?
Look what happened
Yeah.
with the Broncos at the end of that Colts game when they said that
Yeah.
guy jumped to
Yeah.
block that field goal or whatever. Yeah.
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 So if you can't use your own people as leverage on defense,
yeah.
why should
Right.
you be able to do anything like that on offense to do it?
Right.
Well, I think
there's
if
a
they-
reason why it's called tush
Yeah.
push. Then people they kind of pushing the man forward too.
I
you
thought
know,
that was
because that's
wasn't
a
that
lot of
illegal
momentum to
for
get.
100 years in the NFL. I mean, when did they
Yeah.
start letting you push your offensive players to
Yeah,
gain
like, you
yardage?
literally couldn't push nobody.
For
Now,
100 years.
but
Yeah.
the game has changed a lot because there used to be a time where you couldn't do all the motion that they do in the backfield. It's almost like it's
Yeah.
got a college vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, you had to be stationary before you can
Yeah.
before you can snap the ball. Now I done seen receivers, as long as they're in the backfield, they can run around as much as they want, as long as they ain't going forward. If they're going laterally,
If they're going
I seen them
lateral,
come
yeah.
off laterally, and then they call hike, and the man's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
That
so
and that was a Canadian league thing.
see, so
Yeah.
they changed a lot of rules around, which some of the stuff is exciting to see, just to see a variety of play calling that they can do. But this play, let's just be honest, it's a boring play. It's really
Yeah.
just boring when you do
It's-
it 4 or 5
when
times.
you do
It's
it-
an illegal play. I mean, every time, like you said, every time they're lined up offsides,
Yeah.
they start too soon. The linemen do. The center's usually over the ball. So I mean, if you actually called them for all of the illegal procedures, like the referee should be doing, then it would become a negative play every time they played it instead of a
time,
positive.
yep.
Starting
play,
to
and
feel
then
like
stop
travel
doing
in
it.
basketball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, God, good
They
point.
stopped
Yeah,
calling it.
They don't call that anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't
I've seen
call
people
it
take forward. Now they again
Huh.
added this thing called a gather step. What the heck is a gather step? Like, what is that?
I hate
That
it.
was a gather step. What?
I hate it. The gather step is
That didn't
such an annoying
exist during the
thing.
time
I
when we
hate
watched
You're
basketball.
just
Like, what is
making
this
stuff
gather
up
step?
now.
It's just like, dang. And then you talk about it's more skill in the NBA. There's no more skill than you. You got to take an extra step, so you got a competitive advantage over the defense. Like,
it. Not only that, but I tell
yeah,
people,
not to go off on the rant. Like,
yeah,
that, but-
I tell people all the time, like the biggest. I think people don't realize one of the biggest differences in today's NBA versus then. The hand checking makes a huge difference because it totally switches how point guards are able to play, right?
instead of
Point
like
guards no longer have to be point guards anymore.
No.
You know, you don't
'Cause
you don't
remember-
actually need a point guard anymore because a point guard was a facilitator. I mean, and they had eyes in the back of their heads. They could make plays with their back to the rim. And hand checkings kind of changed the dynamic of the way offenses run today. And so it makes offenses more efficient to because nobody can really get their look. People can call it what they want to call it, but it's made a huge difference in the NBA.
oh, it does, because you can't control your offensive player now. Like back in the day, you can control, but like you said, most of the point guards in the NBA back in the day, they had to play with their back to the ball.
Right.
It wasn't as free flowing. You just in front of somebody because that's an easy way to get your stuff cookies. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, but yeah, I didn't want to go off on a basketball rant, but yeah, it's there's a difference. There's a strong difference. That is why you don't see 97 to 87 games very often in the NBA now.
Yeah.
Or 79 and 81. I understand those seem boring to some people. I love them. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
love watching a defensive game.
Yeah.
You know, if it's hard for the offense to score, I do like scoring, but there's something about seeing a competitive game that is when buckets are earned, it makes it more interesting because it puts you on edge. If teams are just going down there and they can run the same dang pick and roll, pick and pop, pick and roll, pick and pop, pick and roll, pick and pop. The dude just flies right by to the basket. He doesn't travel, took 7 steps, and he gets an easy score or something. You know, and the score is 145 to 106 or 145, 185 or some jump. It seems exciting, but at the same time, it's like there's no defense there. That's boring.
Yeah.
Where's the competition? I
Well,
want to watch
that's
this.
and,
If I want to watch a shootout, I'd have
and
watched a
that's
3-point contest.
that
or
goes
something.
that goes back to the old that goes back to the phrase of offense sells tickets, defense wins games.
And it's true, and that's true.
That
That's a true
was
statement.
and that's talked about in football too. It's I could remember when the defenses could really hit, and while it was dangerous, look, these guys know what they were signing up for. Michael Irvin said it, man. I ran across the middle. I was scared, but I ran across the middle because I didn't want to go back to the hood. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, man.
He did what he had to do. He understood the risk, but when you have a Ronnie Lott back there, look, I'm sorry, but anybody that could get their finger smashed in the helmet and it's dangling, and you say go ahead and take it off so I can finish the game, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be hit by that guy because he has no regard for himself. He damn sure doesn't have any regard for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. Well, you
I
got
don't
people
want to
like
get hit by that guy.
you got people like Sean Taylor killing your punter in a Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
you don't want to be back on the field with that. Like, bro, it's like, but it was exciting. It made it exciting. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
I understand like changing the rules and some rules I do understand. Like,
I get it. I get
You
it.
know, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you said, I get it. You don't want to hit nobody in the head, helmet to helmet type ordeal, or targeting like a person's head or
But
something
you
like
got to
that.
let him hit
But
that
the
body though.
defender, but as a defender, your job, if it's a receiver, is to not allow them to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I can't physically bat the ball out of his hands, my only other choice is to knock the shit out of him,
Yeah.
so he, you know what I'm
Like
saying?
Ryan
Might start
Clark.
coming back
Ryan,
there again. Yeah.
yeah. Ryan Clark talks about it. Ryan Clark was like, I had no regard for myself. Like, I, I, I just knew make the play. Like
Yeah.
me physically in my body, what could happen to my body was an afterthought.
Yeah.
In the moment, it was separate the player from the ball. And that's kind of gone away. And if you notice, that's changed the way defenses players play in the NFL. You see more players now. They'd rather try to go for the pick, or they let them catch it and then they make a legal standard tackle. And it's I'm sorry, but in the heat of the moment, when you have to think I'm gonna get fined 50 grand if I hit this guy, right?
Yeah.
Or I could, I understand
essentially
that there's ramifications to me separating him from the ball.
Now they got to make a
That's a
business
thought
decision.
process in the heat of the moment, and I think it does lead to bigger plays offensively.
You do.
Yeah. Sure.
I agree. That's why nowadays when a receiver gets the ball overthrown against the cornerback, and the cornerback does one of these little things like, and they doing all this like no 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 no, it's like, bro, you didn't do anything. You just
Yeah.
he just
Yeah,
overthrew the
that
ball. Now you
wasn't- yeah.
celebrate like not at my house.
Yeah.
I guess not. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, so you get to celebrate now for that. But back
That's-
in the day,
It's so annoying.
like, why would you
it's-
celebrate off of that? You didn't do anything. But I
You
guess
didn't
that's
do-
the way they gotta
like,
play
you-
it now.
That one, and here's
Back in the
another
day,
one.
you could just clean them up and then be like, yeah.
Here's another one that just melts my brain. When the team is losing like 31-7 and it's in the fourth quarter and a wide receiver catches a first down and goes, dog, you're losing, man. Give that ball to the referee and get line back up. Don't stop it.
Yeah,
Like
it's like
that
celebrate
first
when
down
you get
ain't doing
whooped.
shit
You get
for you.
whooped. Like, oh, that was great. You got a first down. Well, you got 10
Yeah.
yards added to your stats. That's
Like,
great.
if you don't give that ball to the ref and get your ass line back up,
Maybe he's just happy he finally got a first down. I don't
That
know.
might be it. That might be it.
nah, that it,
But
it
yeah,
melts. I hate to see it. Like, y'all are
the
losing,
game
man.
is
Sit your
definitely-
ass down somewhere.
Yeah, it just made me bring it up because I remember the first week one when I was watching the 49er game, and our rookie cornerback, he got a double move put on him.
Yeah,
He was literally like 3 to 4 yards behind the receiver, and the quarterback just happened to overthrow the ball. And then as soon as it hit, he goes. And I'm looking at him like, you were literally 3 to 4 yards behind this man.
yeah.
He
you
double
definitely-
moved you. If that ball was on target, he's scoring a touchdown.
Yeah,
You did nothing to disrupt that whole entire play.
yeah.
That's just a
what
bad
about-
ball.
Yeah. What about the quarterbacks that are faking their slides or stuff like that, and then they
yeah.
make
oh,
moves?
oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you saw what Mahomes did in the first week.
Hey,
I was about to
first
say,
game
you talking
against
about
the
Patrick
Chargers.
Mahomes?
Supposed to-
Yeah.
the cornerback gave him the sidelines, and then he
Yeah.
put his head down.
Yeah, yeah.
And if
And-
if the cornerback would have knocked
Committed.
his head off, like they did in
Yeah.
the NFL 5-10 years ago, he would have got a 15-yard penalty.
you know what? If
That's
if I
a double
play
standard right there.
if I play any team that's playing against Kansas City, right? If I play for that team and we're going against Kansas City, I'm like, I tell my team, I'm not gonna lie, this gonna sound bad. I'll cover if I'm an offensive player, I will cover your fine.
Yeah.
But when you get a chance to get a shot on his ass, get a shot on his ass.
Clean him up.
for a year.
I'll cover the fine, but if you get a chance to get a shot on his ass, you get
You
a
know-
shot on his ass because with him doing that,
I
you
know.
you
Yeah, he be
you
baiting.
putting a target on your back.
Yeah, he be
I'm-
baiting.
I'm
He
sorry.
wait to the last moment to slide, and
I-
that's
I
not
think-
that's
yeah.
not fair.
That's
Because if
messed
I'm
up.
coming full, if I'm coming full speed, I don't know no human being that can stop literally on
Yeah.
a dime
Yeah.
and not hit a person while you're coming full speed with your head in position to make a tackle.
Right.
You're going to hit him one way, and that's the one thing that I just don't like, that last minute slide. I feel like if a quarterback's going to slide, he starts to commit to a slide. Or if the defender is coming full speed and the quarterback waits until he's like a yard away and decides he wants to slide now, he's free game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
He
should
should
be
be
a
free
radius
game.
around him
Hey.
if he's within a
Yeah,
radius.
it should be a radius.
Yeah, I
So
agree
if you
with
know
that.
you're going to
Yeah,
slide,
radius.
slide. But if
Slide.
you
Yeah.
ain't, don't do
Yeah.
this last moment thinking, oh,
No.
I'm going to slide here. It's a free game. You're going to freely get popped now.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like now. One thing that I didn't like was when, I think it was last year when, which I understood was when was it Al-Shair, where he hit
Is that when he hit
Oh,
Trevor
yeah.
Lawrence?
Jordan Jackson for Trevor
Yeah,
Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yeah.
On that slide, now I understood that.
Yeah, that was
because
dirty.
Trevor Lawrence already committed to slide.
Yeah, committed
and
to
you
the
still
slide,
just
yeah.
Continue to go in. But
Yeah.
if that man ain't committed to slide and you are within a yard or two and you already committed to tackle, it should
Yeah.
already be,
Yeah.
it's a free game. You're going to get hit. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Dang all this. And like the other thing I hate, and I know we kind of going on these little things here, is the whole stupid quarterback is the most protected position. I can't slam him to the ground. If I do grab him, I gotta, and that kind of, you seen the effects of that when they came out with that rule that the quarterback, you can't slam the quarterback, I guess, to the ground. You have to roll him on top of you and do all this stuff to protect the quarterback, to do all this junk. But you seen what people were doing at that time.
Yeah.
And quarterbacks could easily just, okay, he's going to roll, but I'm not down, technically.
Yeah.
So I can keep on going. Or the man slows up because they don't know how to hit him. They don't want to hit him a certain type of way. And then the quarterback makes a play out of it or whatever. It's just like, that's unfair. You are taking so much away from the defense to make the offense seem much better. And that's not fair.
Right. Yeah.
And the defense has no kind of anything for them, really. Like, nothing. There's nothing that protects a defender from anything. I can get trucked, stiff arm, all kinds of crazy stuff that goes with me. But let me do something to them, and nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I agree, and I think, I get it. The owners of all of these sports have meetings and stuff, and they're looking at ways to generate points, ticket sales, all that kind of stuff. And obviously, it's turned into an analytic thing, and it's like, well, if the more points equals more butts and seats. And so what can we do to make that happen? There's some rule changes that can make that happen.
But the thing about it, I don't really know, and this is just my theory. I don't even think that's really true.
No?
Because a fan is going to attend the game regardless. They want to see
True.
their team win by any means necessary. Whether it's 6-0, whether it's 60-13, they don't care if they got points on the board. They want to see, because prime example, you could score all the points in the world, but if your team is 0-16, by the end of the season, ain't nobody coming to your game.
Yeah.
What's the point?
I think it's more about the TV deals, right? You want to make it aesthetically pleasing for the people that are
viewers,
watching.
Well, and the quarterbacks are the highest paid players too, so they have to make rules to protect the player that gets paid the most, the biggest investment that the owners have on their team's roster.
Yeah, I mean it's just like same for the pitchers. I mean, pitchers and the big hitters in baseball. There's been whenever we think of rule changes in baseball, it usually equals not necessarily what can create more hits, but it's usually between what can we do between the pitchers and the batters, right? And we remember the pitchers, they would do stuff like they would put the grease on their hands to throw a better pitch and all of that, and then strike zones, and then the pitch clock and all of that. So all of these things are to make it more aesthetically pleasing for the viewers. But that kind of goes back to the quarterback. Your quarterbacks need to be able to be protected because they are the marquee guys or whatever. Yeah. And I think when we talk about baseball, the most pleasing thing to watch is the battle between the pitchers and the batters, right? And so what do we do to make that better? Well, we shrink do we shrink or make the strike zone bigger? Do we all of that matters. And so I understand from a business aspect, and part of it is when you're accustomed to, like, especially like Gary, you've been watching baseball, football, and all of this stuff, longer than you were already watching it before I was born, So like you have super adjustments to make, and you've watched so much of the growth of all of these sports. And so some of it is just us having to learn to adjust to the new things. And that's not exactly easy, but it's an understanding on both sides, and I guess it's just something that you can deal with it or not, whatever. Yeah. But the train's gonna keep moving regardless.
Like at the end of the day, I don't think it's a bad brand of football overall. It's still exciting to watch. I mean, apparently, just look at the beginning of this season. You got storylines all over the place, which makes it good.
Absolutely.
Which sports has always been storyline driven mostly.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's always about storylines. This team's facing this team. This quarterback versus this quarterback. This defense versus this offense. Whatever it is, there's always a storyline that's driving the narrative to make you want to watch and tune into. Yeah. This rivalry versus this rivalry, those things like that, which that's what sports has always been about. That's what it basically is, the basis of sports. So
that's true.
And that's what the press and the networks, they play such a big role in that right there, because they have as much invested in this as anybody, because they're the reason why these quarterbacks are getting $100 million deals and stuff, because
very true.
They've got the $1 billion that they're spending on just about every sport now. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm coming back. I'm going to watch football every Sunday.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Every single time.
I'm can't wait till the NBA season starts up again. I can't wait till the play drops in the NHL.
Yeah, that too.
You got me. I feel bad for my family because they take a back seat for most of their life when it comes to me in sports.
Yeah.
But hey, that they knew what they got into. At least my wife did. My kids, I got daughters, and two of them are bigger sports fans than I am. So
that's cool.
Poor girls.
Yeah. Adrian, you mentioned storylines, and one of the big storylines that I've been kind of focused on, it seems like they've kind of fixed it, and it's not necessarily a threat, but about 2 weeks ago, it was kind of a threat. I had been keeping up with the Mets, and, the Mets were pretty comfortable. Like, it was pretty surefire that they were going to the playoffs, and then over the last 2-3 months, they've been having like this crazy meltdown, and there are some teams that are in contention that could possibly overthrow them. But the reality is, it's a very small chance because those teams are facing much tougher schedules than the Mets, and I've been following it, and every game the Mets play, I'm like, y'all really need this win.
They don't want to win.
Yeah. That's been interesting. My team, the Cardinals, we don't have a shot. We're out. But it's been fun watching the National League. It's a lot of stories in that. The American League is, and I usually don't even keep up with the American League like that, but it's been some different teams, and I kind of like it. It's been kind of interesting. What's been for you, Gary? What's been the most interesting story?
Well, the thing that I'm really, really following, I love MVP races, and
Oh, yeah.
I like what Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge are doing in the American
Yeah.
League. Because every time you turn on the TV, another immortal player from our past, has been surpassed by one of these guys. Joe
Right.
DiMaggio's all-time, or his home run, he was surpassed by Aaron Judge in the Yankees all-time home run list. Cal Raleigh just passed Mickey Mantle for most home runs in a season by a switch hitter. Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
a 70-year-old record by, one of those names that you mentioned. I mean, everybody knows who Mickey Mantle is. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you follow baseball or not. But then, but then the Mets, their collapse is just amazing. I was looking at stats when it comes to the Mets collapse, and it's just historic. They were the best team in baseball on June 12th. Okay, 45-24. Since then, there's only two teams that are worse than them in the major leagues. One of them's my guys.
Yeah. The Rockies.
We're holding strong at that bottom spot. And the Nationals,
And the Nationals.
So so they've lost at least 5 straight games 4 times since June. They just got swept by the Phillies, which I thought was unbelievable because that's their rival, the Phillies and the Mets. But they did something on September 12th that no team has ever done in the history of baseball, and they scored 4 runs in the first inning against the Philadelphia Phillies, and then they didn't have any base runners at all for the rest of the game.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And ended up losing 6-4. So that has been, and the funny thing is, they have the easiest path to the playoffs between
Currently.
them
That's
and
why
the
I say
Diamondbacks, the Giants,
Yeah.
and even the Reds. The Reds are in it too.
The Reds are in it too.
But they're playing the Nationals and they're playing the Marlins to finish the season, and like the Diamondbacks, they have to play the Dodgers and the Padres to finish the season. So I mean, the Mets, despite all of the losing that they've been doing since June 12th, and all of the pitching that they've lost, and all of the bullpen that has just been overworked and underperforming,
Yeah.
they're still going to be a wild card team, and they're still going to make the playoffs. It's
Yeah.
just the way it looks right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't think of either the Diamondbacks or the Giants or even the Reds overcoming them, just because that's the way this season's been going. It's just it's remarkable.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a fun September. I mean, with my team out, I'm pretty sure we're out of there. But I'm kind of pulling. Like I said, I think I mentioned this to you. I think I'm gonna pull for the Padres. To kind of, I know they get, generally they have to go through the Dodgers, and that's a thing, but something about the Padres, I feel like they're just always like right there, and then it just never quite comes into.
No,
fruition.
I'm pulling for the Mariners this year, man.
Yeah, you've been on the Mariners.
Been on the big dumpers bandwagon for a couple of months now.
Yeah,
I'm such a big fan of this Cal Raleigh guy. Just the more I read about him and watch his games and stuff. But the Tigers, they're also a team that I'm rooting for this year. Because they're just they got the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, they're just a solid team, and they've got good management. They've got the Mets. They don't have any leadership
None.
on their team. Their manager Mendoza, he's he's just falling on his sword, this is all my fault and stuff, kind of, narrative and everything. But yeah, there's the two teams in the American League, the Tigers and the Mariners. I'm really pulling for those guys because I really think that one of those two are going to come out. And I think the Mariners might actually make it to a World Series this year, which is, exciting.
You
to
think
so?
about,
Oh yeah, I think they're on such a crazy momentum right now with the MVP of the American League. I think Cal Raleigh's going to win the MVP this year. Even though
I definitely feel like that, yeah.
And
I
if he
agree with
does,
that.
this will be the first time in Major League Baseball history that a batting champion, Aaron Judge, with over 50 home runs will not win the MVP. So, I mean, that tells you what, how good he's doing this year. He's got 50 home runs, and he's leading the league in batting average.
Yeah.
He's got like 70 more points in batting average than Raleigh, but Raleigh's a catcher.
Yeah.
A catcher hitting 55 home runs, it's never happened, A switch hitter hitting 55 home runs, it's never happened, except this year, So that's just one of the more remarkable things, and why I hope that I get to continue to watch him into the end of October. So that's
it would be a cool story, honestly.
the
It'd be a
Mariners
great
going to the
story.
World Series would be cool. It's
Yeah.
never happened, so that would be cool.
Yeah.
Then we could get Ichiro back, we could get Griffey back, all these, Mariners that never made it to the World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, get them all in there. Then you got
People
some-
forget about Ichiro, man. Ichiro was
he was pretty good. I
was
agree
that
with
guy
that.
had talent that just didn't get spoken. I think in the moment people spoke about him, but he's the baseball people know him, but like he's not the name that Griffey is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Ichiro, he was the talent. How many games was that consecutive a hit? I can't remember how many games it was consecutively that he had a hit. But yeah.
Camera fell.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I know the fact that he started his career so late in the major leagues because he played so many years in Japan
Yeah, Japan.
and still had over 3,000 hits was crazy.
Yeah.
I think he went 12 straight years with at least 200 hits. He was the American League MVP and Rookie of the Year his rookie season because he was just crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
when he was a rookie in 2001, which was the same year that Albert Pujols was a rookie,
Yeah.
I snatched them both up early in the fantasy season and just rode them all the way to the championship.
way.
I mean, it was it was so awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were literally from 2001 for 20 years. We got treated to Pujols and to Ichiro, and then we got Miggy Cabrera
Man.
winning the Triple Crown a couple years later, and
It
Mike
hurt my-
Trout doing what he did. I mean, it's been a fun.
It
fun
hurt
time.
my heart when Albert Pujols had to leave us. Had to leave. Where'd he go? Anaheim to the
He went to
Angels?
Anaheim. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You got rid of him at the right time, man. Don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I know we did, but
Played for like 10 years after he left. I mean, he had a great career after he left.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Louis,
he
but,
did.
Yeah, what he did, and I think he won like one MVP because he was playing against Barry Bonds for 5 years, 6 years. So
Yeah.
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 It was it was amazing. So I'm glad that we're getting stuff like that now, with Cal Raleigh,
Again.
Aaron
yeah.
Judge, and there's so much to look forward to in the rest of the season.
Oh, yeah,
I got a question
absolutely.
to ask is how long has Aaron Judge been in the game?
Not long, like 6 years,
Not
7
long,
years.
6, yeah,
I
2019.
was about to say I thought it wasn't very long because
Yeah.
like I said, I don't follow baseball, but sometimes you do hear certain names, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like he just started popping up like the last 2 years really big, and he's breaking records.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's been hitting. He's been a hitter since. I mean, when he popped up on the scene,
Yeah.
you know,
He was the rookie of the year. I mean, he was hitting
Yeah.
home runs as soon as he
yeah,
came.
he's been hitting home
Yeah.
runs since he's been in been in the league.
Gotcha.
And I mean, Yankees, the Yankees are the Yankees. So they, I remember the Yankees when they had like Bernie Williams and the Paul O'Neill and
Derek Jeter, yeah.
Derek Jeter and those guys, and it was like, although I didn't like the Yankees, it was so hard to like hate them because the players that they had were so I don't know what it was about Paul O'Neill. Like I just loved his swing. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, 2001 was the last year that the Mariners went to the World Series, that they went to the playoffs, and they actually had the best record in the history of baseball. Like they won like 116 games or something like that. But then they got beat by the Yankees in the playoffs because the Yankees had that playoff experience.
Yeah.
And that was the year. Remember, I don't know if you remember that play that Jeter made against the Athletics in the division series, I think it was, where the throw to home was a little bit off course, and he picked it off and threw the ball to Giambi, or threw the ball to their catcher. I can't believe we can't.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah. But yeah, and got Giambi out. Yeah, and that was when Giambi was with the Athletics, and they had Damon and all kinds of great players.
Yeah.
But that was the last time that the Mariners were in the playoffs, was Ichiro's rookie season.
So that's been
that's another reason
24 years ago.
Yeah, they're the longest drought. Even the Rockies have been to the playoffs since then. I'm excited for the Tigers. I'm excited for the Phillies. I love the Phillies. I love Schwarber. I've already said I'm a big Bryce Harper fan. I love the way he plays. I think he's just
I like Bryce Harper too.
I love that guy, and there's a lot of reasons to be excited about that, and even the Padres. I mean, they're an exciting team.
They are.
And then we haven't even mentioned Shohei Ohtani, who's talking to the Dodgers about maybe moving out into the outfield, so during the playoffs he can come in and relief pitch
and be a relief pitcher, which is crazy because it was so funny last night. That game, I was watching that Dodgers game, and Shohei Ohtani was pitching, and it was funny because he got I want to say it was a return. Somebody hit it and he got it, and then he got the out on second, and immediately started running to get ready to bat because he had to bat. He was next up to bat. Yeah, so immediately after the out, he just darted to go get ready to bat. And I just thought I was like, man, this dude here is like, it's
he's on another level.
Yeah, because I mean, and when you look at Shohei Ohtani, like as talented as he is, obviously he's worth every penny that the Dodgers gave him because they won a World Series, having him, right?
Yeah.
And
that was the first year with them, wasn't it? The first or second year?
That first year that he got that contract, they won a World Series, but mentioning the names that we've mentioned this season, it's pretty cool because I talked about it earlier this season, and we've talked about, like, man, baseball doesn't have any names besides Shohei Ohtani, and then this year we're seeing, and we talked about Aaron Judge, but this year we're seeing more names, right? And we're seeing like just some great stories, and I feel like this is going to help so much after this season. Like this has been a good story-filled season. I wish my Cardinals were doing better. We had high hopes for Walker. I thought he was like going to get us over the hump this year, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what's going on with the Cardinals. But overall, it's been still an exciting season.
Yeah. Well, and that's okay. And I'm just trying to help myself overcome having a terrible team that I cheer for. But when your team is out of it by the All-Star game by June 1st, then you can focus on the rest of the league.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still watch almost every Rockies game because I love my Rockies. We're in it, you know. No, we're not. But anyways, yeah, I mean,
It hurts to talk about. I know.
He's
There's-
a runner,
there's-
but yeah.
yeah, no.
The
I
pain in
try.
the heart.
Yeah, I try. Just like, I mean, I'm trying to come up with excuses to remain optimistic about the Broncos this year, you know. I was like looking and I found some things like Peyton throughout his career has always like had a bad start. So I'm like, okay, because there's no way in, you know what, we should have lost to the Colts this weekend.
Oh yeah, no.
There's no way that the Tennessee Titans should have been in that game the first week. So I'm like, is it time to
Right.
panic, you know? And I'm like, well,
Right.
at least the Chiefs are worse than we are. So, you know, there is that silver lining,
You always got that, yeah.
you know, but yeah. So I'm like, okay, we always start bad. Peyton, he always has a bad start. He's like 500 in September, and then the rest of
And
his
then he-
career, he's like 70% of his games he wins, you know,
Yeah.
in the rest of the month. So we've got that going for us. So there's
Yeah.
always that's one of the things you do to yourself as a fan, the torture you put yourself through as a fan, is
Yeah.
you come up with reasons why you still love your team.
Absolutely.
And that's what I do with my Rockies. I mean, I've got a whole blog that I do and stuff where it's just like, you know, meet the Rockies, because who else is going to write about them? You know, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's it's a labor. It's it's a love-hate relationship with your team, and
If
that's one
it-
of the fun things about it. If there's one
A
year
lot of
where you
times.
actually are successful, then all
Then-
of it is worth it. You know, so.
Yeah. When the Rockies are having a successful season, you can be like, "Hey, I went through the bad years." I mean,
That's
like even with the Rams, you know, I went through those years where it was just like, "Oh gosh, we're one of the worst teams in the league," you know. And then we get an Aaron Donald, and then we get a Cooper Kupp, and then we get a Woods, and you know, all of a sudden we get Big Wit at left tackle, and then like, oh shoot, we're
Things
pretty
start
good.
coming
We got
together.
Todd Gurley, who's
That's right.
this guy? And which we know who he was from Georgia, but it's like all of a sudden we look like a good team, and I'm like, hey, I went through some terrible
Yeah.
years, right? So.
Yeah,
I dealt with that.
just like
You know,
me being a
the
49ers
4-12s.
fan. I done seen
you
the
know?
bad years too. I
Yeah.
dealt with the bad years. I'm still a Bulls fan in the NBA,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
so I'm still going through the bad years. So I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's the ups and downs of the game, but that makes it interesting, you know.
Yeah,
But
you
like you
deal with
said,
it.
when your team is out of it, you get to watch the rest of the games. So
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Because I love sports.
Exactly.
Before we get out of here, what game are y'all looking forward to most this season? Oh, real quick, Gary, I wanted to tell you, if it makes you feel any better about y'all struggling against Tennessee, we were actually losing to Tennessee at halftime. Now, they didn't
This is
score
facts.
again in the second half because
This
I
is-
felt like McVay was just out there playing around with the playbook, saying, like, what can we do? What can we not do? And then in the second half, he was like, all right, I'm done playing with the playbook. And then
Right.
we just turned it on and they didn't score anymore. But, you know, if it makes you feel any better. But
very true.
That means
before we get out of here, what game are y'all looking forward to this weekend?
I gotta look at the schedule.
Well, we
haven't
played-
even thought about the
I mean, I
coming
haven't
schedule.
really even peeped the schedule. I just been watching the games as they show up. That's just how I've been doing. So
Okay,
Right.
well, the most important game this weekend is the Rams and Philadelphia Eagles game.
oh, yeah, y'all
Rams,
do
of
play
course.
Philly.
No, that's gonna be a good one. That's I think that's a
Should be.
good test for you guys. I'll watch that game.
Yeah.
I mean, they play every Eagles game in North Carolina
Yeah.
for some reason, anyways. But no, that's a good test for you guys, and I think it's a good test for the Eagles because I think the Eagles are beatable. You guys probably gave them their best run for their money in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good
That should be a really good team. Yeah, that should be a good
matchup.
game.
I'm anxious to see if AJ Brown's ever gonna like
Break
wake
out
up.
this
You
season.
know, if he's gonna have a breakout, if they even need him. I
Right.
mean, you've got Barkley and
They got weapons in Philly, so
yeah, they've got so many weapons, and they've got all those illegal plays that they use and stuff. And, but no, yeah, they've. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see those two, because those are two of the I think the funnest coaches to watch in
Oh,
the
yeah,
NFL
absolutely.
right now. I love McVay. Shanahan's another one. I love Shanahan because he's the prodigal son of my favorite coach of all time, Mike Shanahan. But yeah, those are fun teams to watch. I love teams that have the run first mentality and just the creativeness of those offensive geniuses. Those are such fun teams to watch.
McVay got hurt when the Rams played Tennessee. McVay pulled the muscle, trying to throw the red flag out there. He did. He got injured.
He's the guy that they always show the sideline footage of him getting pulled back. He's got that one coach that is responsible for making sure he doesn't get like too far onto the field or whatever all the time, right?
They must have.
Yeah.
They must have took the
That guy's
cell phone down there to Santa Clara.
Yeah.
Oh,
He must have got a bottle of water from Santa Clara. That's what happened.
from Santa Clara. Yeah.
But I
The
didn't
good
even
thing
know
is
Brock
he's
Purdy
not the
was
one
in-
playing in the games.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
I didn't know Brock Purdy was injured.
But yeah, Brock Purdy. He's out for
Mac
5
Jones-
weeks.
Mac Jones looked pretty decent, but I did
Yeah.
not know
Yeah, he
Brock
did.
Purdy was injured.
Surprised me.
Mac Jones
Yeah,
had
to
moments
me
in
too.
New England, man.
He
so I'm
had
not
moments
surprised.
in New England. I'm not a big Mac. I was never a big Mac Jones fan, but
Yeah.
apparently that's also another quarterback that we actually was looking into before the draft. We
Oh,
just couldn't
okay.
draft him, so I'm not a big
is.
Mac Jones fan. I just hope he does good. He's on my team,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
So I did not know Purdy was on the injured list though until they came up, and I was like, wow, Purdy's gone, Kittle's gone. We still ain't
Yeah.
got Ayuk. I don't know what they drinking down there, but they need to stop. That's all I know is they need to stop. We
Put you guys
got
in a
rid of our
bubble.
kicker. I was happy about that. Then our kicker,
Right.
the new kicker, missed the field goal, extra point. I said, oh come on, really?
Yeah.
But he
And
made
didn't
the other
Chicago
ones.
sign y'all's old kicker?
Yeah, he did. They did. They
Yeah.
did. To the practice squad or something like that.
Something.
Yeah, he's not with the 49ers no more, so I don't got to worry about him. I just hope the new dude who made his other field goals keeps making
get it
field
figured
goals.
out.
He had like an 88% field goal rating. I mean, like field goal percentage for his career. So I like my odds. He just scared me when he missed the first dang
Extra
field
point.
goal, extra point. Which is another thing is crazy watching just real quick here just to go off. But what was crazy, all the field goals that kickers have been missing again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year
Yeah,
looked
I
like
had
a whole
Buffalo,
lot. This
yeah.
already hitting it right off the upright, just boom. I was like,
Yeah.
That
oh.
Buffalo kicker cost me almost this weekend on my fantasy. I was looking at the stat. I didn't watch the game because it's Buffalo and it came on so late, but it was like 0 points, and I'm looking at the stat line, and it's like he missed two 50-yard field goals, and then he made a 50-plus yard field goal, and I'm like, why are you guys kicking so many 50-yard
Field goals, yeah.
over there, man? At least do it with somebody else's kicker. I'm trying to win a fantasy league here, guys.
Right? Yeah.
The
Don't
one
you
thing that
know?
was a trip was, didn't Miami play New England this weekend, right?
Yes.
That kickoff,
That game-
where they ran a kickoff back, and then the other team ran it back the next time they kicked off or something like that. They
Yeah.
did something back to back. I said, wow. One thing I
It's
will
New
say
England
is
and
dope.
Miami.
Huh? You say what?
I said it's New England and Miami.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
You're
know.
bound to get some weird stuff in that game.
yeah, this is true. But one thing is interesting is that even with the new rules for the kick return, I'm kind of liking
Yeah.
how it's starting to be, because now you're getting to see that
Yeah.
excitement of that play again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
Mhm.
Except that one wasn't the one guy just let the ball go into the end zone? And
Oh,
they
Oh
got
yeah, the
from
dude from
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh,
From the
yeah,
Steelers. Yeah.
he was sipping on
He
the
just
sauce.
let
Learn
it
the
go
rules,
into the
dude.
end zone. Yeah.
He was sipping on the sauce.
Yeah.
Ran right by it and was going into the locker room.
I guess
Yeah.
he thought it was like the old way. If it bounced in the end zone, it's a touchback or
Right.
It's a touch.
But-
Yeah, no. That's
But
you got to
nah.
know the rules, man.
something.
Got to know the rules.
Right, especially if that's your job is to catch kickoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all got anything else before we get out of here?
Nah, I ain't got nothing else, man.
Nothing.
Nothing.
All right. Well, everybody that joined and tuned in, appreciate y'all. And we will see y'all next week. Y'all enjoy some weekend of some football and baseball.
That's right.
Oh, yes, sir. All right, y'all.
All right.
Y'all have a good one.
Y'all
too,
have a
have a
good
good
one.
Later. Peace.
Peace.